Hello, everybody. This is Toni Turner, and welcome to the Market Now on Friday, June 14th, just after the markets close. Well, the Nasdaq eked out a fifth straight record closing high today, following gains in Adobe and other technology-related shares, while the S&P 500 and Dow ended slightly lower. For the week, the Dow was down 0.5%, the S&P 500 rose 1.6%, and the Nasdaq was up 3.2%. Overall, investors are still trying to gauge how soon the Federal Reserve might be able to cut interest rates. And on that note, let's go on to three charts that will give us some insight into the week to come. First of all, as we always do, we're going to look at a daily chart of the S&P 500 SPDR, symbol SPY. Of course, this is the exchange-traded fund that closely follows our benchmark S&P 500 index. Now, the SPY closed today, as you can see up here. The SPY closed at an all-time new closing high at $542.78. That's after making a new intraday all-time high this past Wednesday at $544.12. Right now, we can see that it's trading above its 20-day moving average, which is coming in here at about $532, and it's trading at a 2% premium, which is very, very good, to the 20-day moving average. That's positive. Also, it's trading above the 50-day moving average. That's a good thing. That's coming in at $519.78. Call it $520 if you want. And of course, the 200-day moving average is down here at $480.97. So if we keep going down, however, we get a real quick reality check. Right here, we can see the 14-day RSI. That's this indicator trading in this area here. Now, well, actually, it's all the way down. The RSI, relative strength indicator, 14-day, shows us it's trading at 73. And whenever the RSI gets above the 70 line, that means that price is overbought. And that means in the short term, it doesn't mean that it's going to go, price will start down quickly. It does mean, though, that it is overbought in the short term. And whenever the RSI gets over that 70 line for any length of time, we might expect a little pullback of some kind. Of course, we are seeing volume drop. You can see that down here, which is perfectly normal this time of the year as traders head out for vacation. Now, for a quick overview here, if we look left on the chart, we know that from the October 2023 intraday lows, the SPY made those at 409. Then it jumped up, and you can't see the jump here, but you can see that it jumped up and it ran up for most part, the red line, the 20-day moving average, up to the March 27th all-time closing high right here at $523.17. Now, that was a 22% gain, a beautiful uptrend, higher lows and higher highs. Quick note here, what's more important, the lows or the highs of an uptrend? Okay, the lows are the most important. We want higher lows and higher highs. But markets do not go up forever, and neither can the SPY. And when we got into the end of March, right after that all-time closing high, again at March 27th, the SPY needed a nap, and so as you can see, it got tired here, and it fell gradually down through the 20-day, through the 50-day, down to the April 19th low at $493.85. So it got down there, it broke down, but giving it credit, it got a higher low here. It kind of fumbled around under the 20-day and 50-day moving averages, got another higher low here. What do higher lows mean? They're a good thing because they tell you that when price is coming lower, buyers are coming in and buying and keeping it higher than the last low. So that's a good thing. That happened here. It finally hopped over the 50-day moving average to $516. That was a good thing. Then it rallied there all the way up to the next all-time high on May 21st at $531.36, all-time closing high, I should say. From there, it lost a little mojo again, came back down to the 20-day. One day actually dipped toward the 50-day, but it jumped right back up again. Very bullish to walk back up the 50-day moving, the 20-day moving average, and then popped up on Wednesday and to where we are now, again at 542.78. How do we look at this chart? What do we do with it? Well, we say we have potential resistance around 543 to 544. We have potential price support and moving average support here at the 20-day moving average, again coming in, we'll call it at 532. We also have potential support here and moving average, the support from that little dip here, that little pivot, and indicator support at the moving average line. We're going to call it 519, 520 right here. And then, of course, on down to the May lows at 500 and then the April lows at 494. All in all, we're still in an uptrend. Everything looks good. The market is still bullish. Could we see a little bit of running out of mojo again here? Maybe, who knows, but we know where our support points are. Next week, in the coming week, we'll have retail sales report, housing numbers, and jobs numbers. Our next chart is a daily chart of the QQQ, the Invesco QQQ, which follows the NASDAQ 100, which of course is the top 100 non-financial stocks in the NASDAQ stock market. It's home to the big momentum stocks like NVIDIA, Meta, Apple, Microsoft, that whole group. Now the Qs closed today at another new all-time closing high at $479.19. If we take a quick look back, you can't see it on this chart, but look left. We know that the Qs made a low in October at 342 and then ran up the 20-day, reversed and ran up the 20-day moving average, and except for a couple of quick falters, not too bad, just down a couple of days and back up, it also marched up its 20-day moving average to the all-time high on March 22nd, and I believe it's that little candle right there. The all-time closing high at that point was $446.38, and that whole run was a 23% gain. Nothing to sneeze at, right? Then in April, like the SPY, the Qs turned down here. They lost their mojo, fell below the 20-day moving average for several days, and then finally fell below the 50-day moving average, moving down to its April low at $413. So right down here to 413, not to the 200-day yet, but down here. Like the SPY, it made a couple of runs to get back up again. It made two higher lows. That's a good thing, as we know. Then it finally jumped up and got over the 20-day and over the 50-day on May 6th to $440. So back up over the 50-day is a very important thing. Then the Qs continued in an uptrend. Of course, these tech stocks are going wild. Where it closed today, it did go up, roll over real quick in May, but stayed above the 20-day moving average on the close, and again came back up to where it is today, closing at the new all-time high at $479.19. Now, if you went down to the April low, down here at 413, if you went down to that April low and then came up to today's, and this is an uptrend here, this whole thing, see this line here? This is an uptrend, higher lows and higher highs. That was a 16% gain from the bottom to the top. Again, not too shabby. If we look down, however, if we need the flip side here, we're going to see it. Look down at the 14-day RSI, and it is trading over the 70 line, actually at 79. So again, that doesn't mean price is going to fall over in the coming week, but it does mean that price is overbought, and that at some point, can't tell you when, but at some point in the next week or two, we'll probably see a little bit of profit taking. That's not a bad thing. The market has to go down in order to go back up. So what do we do here? We look for a new resistance line that'll come in at 479, 480. Then we look at potential price support. We have price support right here and moving average support coming in at the same place at about $460. We have, well, we could even use this little trend line here coming in at about 455. We have potential price support at the 50-day moving average at 444, 445. And of course, we can go back down to these, the May low at 420, and of course the April low at 413. The tech stocks have borne a lot of the responsibility of pulling the market higher in the last few weeks and even months. So we're going to find out in the coming week if they can remain strong. Our final chart today is a daily chart of the Amplify Cybersecurity ETF, the HACK. The HACK has 24 holdings. Top holdings include Broadcom, CrowdStrike, Cisco, Palo Alto Networks, and General Dynamics. Now, as you can see on this chart, the hack closed today at $62.97. It's trading above its 50-day moving average. The 20-day is inverse right now to the 50-day, but getting closer to it. And of course, we see the 200-day moving average down here, and that's coming in at about $59. Now, you can't see it on the screen, but if you look at a long-term chart, which I usually always do before I get into a stock, you will see that the November 2021 all-time high for the hack came in at $68. So now let's go back to this chart and we can look at this past recent February high. That's this right here is at $62.97. So I just like to keep those numbers in mind. Now from that high, the hack jumped around. It was really crazy. It jumped around and dropped down to the, look at this fall, oh my gosh, then gapped down to this February low at $60.12. Then finally struggled, and in a pretty steep move, it jumped back up to the 65, 66 level, back over the 50-day and the 20-day, but it was still kind of miserable, couldn't cope. Just jumped around the 20-day line, finally jumped up again, fell below the 50-day and said, I can't handle it. Down to the lows here, the April lows, almost everybody made April lows, down to $59.86. Then finally rallied to back up to 63. Over here you can see it kind of went sideways here in a range, then moved back up over the 50-day moving average at around 63, then moved down to its 200-day moving average, then held that on support, that held support, then rallied back up through its 20-day, its 50-day, to where it is today at $62.97. Why am I looking at the hack? Well, it could be that this is a trend change here, and of course could being the operative word, but that's what I'm looking at. It bounced nicely off the 200-day moving average. It is still in the technology industry, and the price action is getting more orderly. So if it pulls back from here, because it looks like it's trying to break this downtrend it's been in. If it pulls back from here, I'm suspecting it will head down in the coming week. I don't know that it will, but it could. But I don't expect it to, and who knows, I don't expect it to fall through the 200-day moving average, again, coming in at 59.11. We'll call it 59. So I'm going to watch it a little bit here. Of course, if it falls through that line, never mind. But I think maybe here it can come down and start up like that. I have to wait a little bit. We'll have to wait a little bit to see. So in the coming week, if the market remains bullish and the hack remains above the 200-day moving average, which is again coming in now, we'll call it at 59, I will add a small position of the HACK to my trading portfolio, with a stop at $58.94. If and when the hack can rise above 65, look left over to this March high. If it can rise up and move over the 65, I will add to my position, and my stop by then will be a trailing stop. So you may want to keep an eye on the hack in the coming week. And now here's some news from ToniTurner.com. We've lowered the price of all of our online training programs to make them more accessible to everyone. So if you'd like to become a more profitable trader, now is a great time to check out my timeless training programs. Trade the Trend to Profits, and you can see it right here. Trade the Trend to Profits. I was just looking at that. That gives you the simple strategies you need to make money from trading stock and ETF trends. And you'll receive special bonuses when you order, including 1 month of meta stock, which are the stock charts I use on all of these sessions. You will get 1 month of meta stock daily charts or meta stock real-time charts for free. From our ever-popular 7 steps to successful trading, how to swing trade successfully, how to read charts, great for beginners, 3 winning setups, great for short-term traders, and bottom fishing like a pro. Find out how these online programs can help you earn more money quickly and easily. And once you purchase them, you have unlimited access. You can time it however you want. So be sure to check them out by going to the link on this screen up here, or simply click on the orange button below. Until next week, be careful out there. Keep green on your screen. I'm Toni Turner, and this is The Market Now.